Hello and welcome to the Arena Sports Show. My name is Clauiee Grace Mpanza. Absolutely excited about this episode because it's the 44th episode. I mean, if you follow Formula One, 44 is a very special number. Joining me is my favorite influencer, Mahlatse Mphahlele, and you're sitting very far, influencer. But how are you doing? A busy weekend. I don't know how you've been keeping up with the sports over the weekend, but how are you?
I'm good. You're right. Busy weekend. Firstly, all the eyes were on FNB Stadium. I see they brought the trophy for you.
Listen, and it's my favorite color, so this has to be my favorite trophy.
Black, you know. So,
black color manure.
I think the next time I see it will be in the Free State Stadium for the final. As the venue has been announced, the date has been confirmed. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Semifinals are upon us, and good weekend. I'm glad. I was at FNB and I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, I know he definitely was, and of course I got a lot of calls as well as people were bumping into each other, and it was of course a festival, and we'll get to talk about that encounter in just a bit. But a lot has been happening in the world of sport, so let's quickly find out what's in your top stories.
The Springboks arrived in Edinburgh on Saturday, ready to switch into test mode with an eye on their clash against Scotland on Sunday, and prop Wilkolo said they are in the right frame of mind after a tough training camp in Jersey. Free State Stadium will host the 2024 Kali Knockout Final on November 23, but before that, Magesi will visit Richards Bay, while Marumo Gallants will take on Mamelodi Sundowns in a semi-final scheduled for this weekend. Lastly, the Nedbank Proteas completed a 3-0 clean sweep over Malawi with a 69-24 victory over their African rivals in the final Spar Challenge Test match at Ellis Park Arena on Sunday afternoon.
Clearly a lot has been happening in the world of sport, and we'll also get to talk more about the Kali knockout final that will be happening in bit, but we'll also be profiling the semi-finals. But choosing a star of the week is always a difficult one, especially when a lot has been happening and you have to choose just one athlete. Like, it's like choosing man of the match, right? Who has impressed you, influencer, in the past few days?
Yeah, for me, very easy for this weekend.
Very
I'm going back to FNB Stadium. Igram Reina's man of the match performance. I must be honest that I didn't make much of him when he came to Sundowns. I didn't think that he will have a good start as he has. Obviously, coming on the back of having done so well for Stellenbosch last season, I thought he will struggle, but going to a star-studded team like Sundowns, he has hit the ground running. He has proved to be a match winner in a couple of matches. 2 goals that set Sundowns up, and also Sundowns got an early penalty. He showed still to stand up at that moment of the match.
For sure.
To take that penalty. Had he missed it, could have been a different story. He was calm, he converted, and later scored the second goal, and that sort of set the foundation for what was turned out to be an easy win for Sundowns, really. So my star of the week for this week is Igram Reina's. And, I'm interested to find out from you. I can take a guess. It's going to be something from motor racing.
You make me sound so predictable, influencer. I don't like your term. But yes, it is actually. In Formula One, Max Verstappen. What a championship drive in Brazil. I mean, starting all the way from 17th to go on to win it. And not only just win it. In the rain, he went on to win it. So it was really masterclass. And I mean, having to overtake Lando Norris, who is your competitor at this point, I think you're sending a very loud message. So Max done absolutely well, and it's great to see him, of course, winning. That's how you want to see champions. That's how champions are made. So if he has to win, of course, the championship, it would make sense, especially after a stellar performance that he put out in Brazil, especially also after he was knocked out in Q2. He complained, saying that, oh my goodness, I don't know how we're going to make this happen. But they made it happen, and having a good team to back you. And I think that's the important thing about Formula One, when you have your strategy team that will advise you to, wait it out a bit. And I think the waiting time, Lando Norris says it's luck, but I think the waiting time really did play a big part for Red Bull in making sure that Max won. His teammate, Sergio Perez, that's a conversation for another day. We're not going to talk about that, but really great, of course, to see Max Verstappen. I would have loved to say Lewis Hamilton because it's the 44th episode, but the season can end, and let's see what happens to Ferrari for Lewis Hamilton.
So I was right about motor racing.
Listen, Listen, we can't always all be football, right? It's like the variety, so it makes sense.
That's good. We know where your heart lies, so it's okay.
No, it's in both. My goodness, both can coexist. It's like, remember when gentlemen, you would know, when you say, I love them both? Exactly.
All right.
That's how, of course, you'd put it out. But a lot is happening. I mean, you look into the Botswana League, you look at Durban Galaxy, man, another goalless stalemate. And it's quite unfortunate because the goals are not coming in for Galaxy at this point. But when you look into the log table, you've got Kaizer Chiefs, who's currently in first place with 13 points. And then Traffic is in second place with 12 points. And then you've got Rollers, of course, in third place with 10. And then Sao Flamingos, in fourth place. And then Gaborone United in fifth. And then Durban and Galaxy, they find themselves currently in sixth place, only recording 2 victories. And of course, they find themselves with 9 points. But that's not the only league that's been happening around the continent, Influencer. There's a lot that's been happening in the world of football.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Lesotho League here. After general 6 rounds of matches, Matlama is a big club in Lesotho, and one of the oldest teams in Lesotho. They've always been there, but I think they went through a dip where so I think, I don't know if maybe the ownership or what, people didn't really put money into the club. They sort of disappeared in a way, but I see they're back now. They're top of the log after 5 matches, 4 wins and 1 loss. There's Lioli, also another famous club, well-supported club in Lesotho. They're second. Dijabatu is number 3, and LDF and Bantu at number 5. It's turning out to be a very, very good season in Lesotho. I'll urge people to go watch there, because also similar as you've been saying with the Botswana League. It's a league that leagues that are they're turning them into being full-time professional. And there's a lot of good players out there, good football being played, and it's nice to see. Obviously, as I said, Matlama on top, and it's up to the rest of the team to see if they can catch up with them.
100%. And well, one thing that we love about Carling is that it's always about the fan when we switch it up. So on the flip side, we're switching it up, and we've got a star-studded guest where we'll get to, of course, profile the Carling knockout. Well, we move over now to one of our favorite parts on the show, where we've got, of course, the 2 legends that I alluded to earlier on. We've got Mzimba Shaker, hailing, of course, all the way from the best province in the country. I might be biased here, but from Mpumalanga, we have, of course, Mandla Masango joining us. And, of course, we know him scoring goals from the center line now and again. Hlompho Kekana joins us as well. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Such a pleasure to have you guys. Mkaya, we'll start with you. I mean, Carling, it's buzzing right now. I remember the last time we were building up, we were talking about the romance that this cup has. Stellenbosch is going to the final. Here we are. The big teams are out, but the romance continues with this cup.
It's good though, it's good for South African football that the so-called smaller teams get the opportunity to play in finals. And look now, the semis, one small team, if I may say so, will be in the final. So it gives them an opportunity to win a trophy this season.
I like that you're alluding to the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns might be going to the final here, Hlompho Kekana. Talk to us about, of course, Sundowns and the run that they've had.
So I'm listening to Mukaya. They are speaking about...
By the Mukaya? What's up?
I'm listening to Mukaya. They are speaking about the team, the big teams are out of the competition. Which big teams?
Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs.
Are they big teams or old teams? Which one?
Which one is this one?
English properly, so that I can understand it. Don't come with big English here. Big team or old team?
They are big teams. Numbers don't lie, Brakeke.
Okay, but big teams win trophies.
Yeah, the other one is winning trophies, is it not?
Oh, well, and the other one?
Yeah, no. Mandla.
Thank you. So you can't say big team. Let's just say
the other one is critical but stable.
So what I can add on the statement is, we're happy that the ones who deserve to be in the knockout stages with the semifinals, they are in the semifinals. And the ones who are not so deserving to be in the semifinals, they are out of the competition. So they couldn't score the goals because this is the competition of goals. So I'm just happy that my team is in the semifinal. which is Mamelodi Sundowns. Super biased about that.
You're allowed.
I'm anticipating to see a final between Mamelodi Sundowns
and
I fancy Magesi. I love Magesi. I want Magesi.
Of course, you love Magesi. I'm not surprised.
Because of Coach Clint and Coach Clint, and plus they are from my hometown.
Yes. Advantage is very important.
But Hlompho, Coach Puzo would say, the couple will go where it's supposed to go.
You know that very well.
You know the story,
But I mean, Hlompho, when you look into Mamelodi Sundowns, you might as well start with them. You look into the start that they've had. And I mean, when you look into the semi-final, that starting 11, when everybody saw that starting 11, everybody knew that that's the Bafana team. That is quality, yes. So talk to us about that quality of Sundowns, and of course now the change of the technical team as well. But that still continues the winning way of Mamelodi Sundowns.
It was scary in the beginning to see my team, so shaky. And this is the same team that last season they lost only one match. But with the changes in the game, anywhere in life you get rattled a little bit, you get scared because you don't know, you're not certain on certain things. And in football, footballers they deal with so much because certain changes they don't really discuss with you. They just happen in front of our eyes, and we have to adapt and adjust to it. And the players, I feel for them, but they managed to regroup with the situation, and they found themselves now in the semi-final of the Kaizer knockout. In the beginning, it wasn't so smooth. We were knocked out of the other competition, where I believe we would have done better in maybe firstly with the lineup, second with how we applied ourselves. In front of goals, we were not so confident, and it was simply because of the changes. Simply because of course, when the changes are there, you and I, we can be in the same room, but we can't change. We can't take the changes the same. Find out you'll deal with other situation better than I do. So I think it was that situation where my boys were just not so stable.
Skipper, maybe just to follow up on the shaky start, I'm sure you must be happy now that problem between the coach and Debza and Kuliso is sorted now.
Before they sue us, just say alleged.
The alleged. The alleged.
The things that we have never heard about. There's one of our colleagues because of that. I think when I look at the lineup that Clauiee is talking about, it was the statement from my team to say we want to show the South Africans that we're still good, we're still one of the best team in the continent. It was the reaction we should do to all the things that we wanted to do in the beginning that I don't think they were working for us. I'm against the change of lineup all the time. They know everywhere I go. Even the club, they always ask me. I'm an advocate of one lineup that you must rely on, and it will win you football matches. And because I have a reference, when I was still under the team that I played with the CBD, I'm sure you were tired of seeing us playing every weekend with the same lineup. But it had some benefits because you're playing with a lot of momentum. Mandla will tell you, when they won the league under Stuart Baxter, we knew that Mandla would pop up there, Shaba will pop up with their Yeye and Kazan in the midfield. So that is the standard lineup for big teams. Big teams, they've got one lineup that they will rely on. And I think we back to our senses. We want to make sure that we push as far as we can, because this league is going to be very tricky this season. I can tell from where I'm sitting. As a fan, I'm not comfortable. I don't know the players how they feel, but now as a fan, this season already I'm scared. I can see where it's going. I think we need a level of consistency in our performance to win football matches.
100%. And I mean, I remember a few months or years back where John Committers once said that when Kaizer Chiefs win, or when Kaizer Chiefs, or of course Orlando Pirates, they're doing well, there's this snowball effect, Mandla, in terms of then the economy and of course now the stadiums being filled up. Talk to us about that effect from Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, yes, they went into this game overly confident, thinking that they're cooking something impeccable that will take them to the semi-finals. It wasn't the case, but talk to us about that momentum from Kaizer Chiefs' perspective and really the positivity around the club currently.
No, I think that there's still that positive vibes, irrespective of the result on Saturday. It's good for the youngsters, I must say, because that was a learning curve. You know, give them a few more years with time, they'll do even better. And it's good that they played against quality footballers.
Yeah.
If you look at Tebza, you compare him with Sam Gelo. You know, like that silly mistake.
Yeah, you know, Mandla, when you talk about that, I'm thinking tunnel now. When you're walking in and you're seeing Abo Tebza, and you're young, and you're thinking, sure, one day,
exactly,
I need to get to that level.
Exactly, you need a reference, like Hlompho said. Even he came as a youngster, I came as a youngster, standing next to the likes of Cheese Boy, Gift. Those are players maybe you used to look up to. Like now you're competing against them. It gives you that motivation factor that one day I want to be like them or I want to be better than them. Even though the boys lost on Saturday, but they should take out the positive from the game because those Sundowns players, they play for Bafana. They play in big matches and continental matches. You know, they're champions.
Yeah.
I think my reading with Chiefs at the weekend, sometimes we sort of contradict ourselves. We want the youngsters to play. When the youngsters are playing, they're not ready and all these things. And I think Chiefs are the coach is right to play Zwane, to play Mdu, to play Vilakazi, because the only way they are going to learn is by playing.
For sure.
I think the fans must have that understanding that when you persist with young players like this, mistakes are going to happen. I can tell you now, Zwane is unlikely to make the same mistake he made against the Sundowns, which led to that goal, because it was a big moment in the match, and you can actually say probably they lost this match because of his mistake. But he will learn from it. So the kids need to play, and I think it's the right thing that Chiefs are doing. It will come at a price, but sometimes it's the school fees that you need to pay, because if you want to give them minutes, you can't give them minutes sitting on the bench. So the fans must be patient, and it will come together. I've observed Chiefs over the last few months. There's a new vibe around the place. The new coaches come through. The coaches brought a new sense of agency there, and they are lively. It's a pity they are going through a roller coaster moment right now. They play one good game, they lose, they draw. But once they get going, I think they will do something. I just don't think they're strong enough to really go deep into the season. But they will. The foundation will be laid this season.
Yeah.
Well, I think from where I'm sitting, it's a team that in the beginning they said they were building, and I think in their building they brought some expectations because they did so well in the first two matches, and this is the Chiefs you would love to see. The people who have been in football for long, they know Chiefs with such hype, such moments where they've got one player who can give supporters hope, and in bringing Serena into the team, in bringing young Du, you can tell the excitement of the fans go into the stadium. They're just looking forward to see such moments, and it takes a lot of time. And I remember when Coach Pizzo came to Sundowns, we were a bunch of individuals, good individuals, but we weren't a team. And but we got to a stage where we grew to be a team. And it takes a coach of Nabi's caliber. And I like his emotions. I like how he drives his team. He's honest. I like the honesty to say the team is not ready yet, but he's still building, and you can tell the lineup. What I like about now, I'm an advocate of one lineup. I like how he, from the first game of the season till now, we can say he changes 1-2 players. because of an suspension, maybe 3 players. But he sticks to the lineup, and the players, they grow to play with each other, and you will end up getting the combination together, because match in, you're playing together. So I like that about the new Chiefs. It will take a little bit of time to get, a team that is super team, because even us winning the Champions League, it took us 4 years to build that. We were winning because we had quality players, but we were in the team that could compete. If I remember, we pulled out by TP Mazembe in TP Mazembe. We looked like small boys, but we just won the league in South Africa. And when we got there, and it goes back to your point when you say, for you to learn, you must be on the field, because the experience, you got it there. And we were bullied, and we felt like we didn't do anything in our football careers. But going back, when we reflect, we were like, okay, we did so much good things in there. It's just that we didn't win the match, because you didn't win the match. The good things that you did, you'll never see them. But I think it needs a sober mind to say, where they go to the drawing board, when they look at of course the analysts now, they play those games and they play the clips. Once they pull out the good things that you did in a match of that nature, as a youngster, you grow up in confidence. You say, no, I can improve from here. I can build from here. Unlike building from nowhere. So I think it's a good thing to see Kaizer Chiefs. I love speaking Mamelodi Sundowns. I nearly said Mamelodi.
Yeah, also, you are right when you talk about the coach being honest and real about this. Because if you look at the two teams on Saturday, it was very clear, even on paper when the team list came out, that it's just Sundowns are here, Chiefs are here in terms of quality on the field. Sundowns have got Ribeiro, have got Allende, have got Mokoena, have got Obas. Chiefs have got Jan Zwane, Blom. You are not going to be able to compete. You can do it in a once-off, but consistently it's going to be a problem. You need time to get that. So also the difference in quality, and I think that transfers is coming now in January. It's going to be important for them to boost that.
They need a lot of cover players on certain positions.
But I also think if they can get just a pivot player,
they need that.
Like there's Zungu.
Zungu is available.
Zungu, I think they need someone who can just stabilize the midfield for them, who can just sit there and make the team play from the center
to give them balance.
To give them balance. And even on Saturday, if Ashley was he should have started, in my opinion, because Sundowns have 2 center backs who are very comfortable on the ball, but they lack speed. So there was never like penetrative runs to show that, because normally, sometimes when you speak about these penetrative runs, it's not for the sake of making the run, but it's also stretching
the last line.
Because Sundowns, they're very compact. They like to play high pressure game. And the moment you have like someone with speed, they will retreat a little bit. It will stretch them. Then you'll create like spaces in between. That's when you get the best out of Mtu, you get the best out of Duva, and Sereno, Ngobo. I think also Ngobo was exceptional. Imagine Chiefs were trailing 4-0 or 3-0. He came on. He controlled the midfield alone.
What a player.
Yeah, I want to pray. I just don't think that maybe they really don't know how to get the best out of this guy, because
I am scared of Dupree. As Mandla is saying, he's one player who reminds me of the Sundowns come up here. He knows when to make that run. He doesn't need a busy midfielder. When a busy midfielder, somebody who's always on the ball, dribbling, driving, you will never get him. You need to be sober in control and look up. It is never offside, that guy, because he's got his own run. He knows that he's quick. He knows when to run and to make the run to the last line of defense. What I like about him is the fact that he runs towards the goals. So such player is dangerous, because then he stretches the last line. He stresses the last line, as Mandla is saying. Our 2 centre backs, as much as they are comfortable, I don't think they can deal with somebody who's as fast as Ashley. I don't know. I was never the quick player, but I know that Ashley is lightning quick. I'm sure we were gonna rely on Mudau and maybe Trapper to come and cover.
Yeah.
Because that guy is quick.
Yeah, but I mean, Prakeke, you mentioned Sailor, and I think also how Coach Mangoba is using him this season. I mean, we're seeing him creating goals, we're seeing him scoring as well. Talk to us about the Sailor that we're seeing and really his contribution to Mamelodi Sundowns.
One of the best right backs in the world now, ne?
Yeah.
Top player. What I like about him is the fact that he's versatile in his approach. When I saw Sailor, I was fortunate enough to see Sailor as a 13-year-old. He's a Watson. No, at Turf when we were still at school. Yeah. All I knew he was this player who can play as a midfielder, right winger, right back. And to see that goal that he scored over the weekend, it was just a movement of a player. And when you are versatile like that, you know when to use certain skill in certain position. And for him, because he's quick and he's strong on the ball, that allows him to do that, to be in the box that side and to come to be in the box this side. So not so many players knows how to have different between two boxes. I had the late one of the best right backs in the league, but he couldn't differentiate between the two boxes. In that box, he's not as dangerous as Tapelo, but in this box, he's very, very strong in defense. So Tapelo on the other side, he wasn't so strong before in this box, but attacking wise, he's strong. So Mudau, he's got the two.
Both.
Where in the box, he's calm. He knows how to dribble past situation. I don't know. I just wish he can just stay fit. Because I just want to rev this league quickly.
How? Rev the league already?
Quickly.
This time around.
I know it's difficult to play in the league. So for me, I'm speaking as a fan now. So this couch is so comfortable. So I can say whatever I want to do. Those guys, I feel for them because 90 minutes is not a child's play. You know, it comes with so much stress. You know, people are having so much hopes in you as a person to deliver some excitement. So for me, it's nice because we did that, me and Mandla in our time. I'm sure people were having so much hopes on us being on the field. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
I remember the last time we met and we were talking about Stellenbosch there and we were previewing the final and we were talking about a specific player, that being Reynolds. And I remember the both of you alluding to the fact that you were shocked that SuperSport let him go. And now he's at Mamelodi Sundowns and he's still continuing. Talk to us about the growth really and what he brings to the game, not only at Mamelodi Sundowns, but just him as a footballer.
Yeah, we were shocked in Mandla that time when he left SuperSport because the numbers, they were backing him up at the time. He wasn't playing as an out-and-out striker at SuperSport, but he had so much influence in making sure that Bradley was scoring so many goals, as he was the top assist at the time. When he came to Mamelodi Sundowns, I knew he was going to enjoy football. You come into a team that is very flexible for strikers. Mandla the other day was telling me jokingly that if I can play for Sundowns, I'll score 40 goals. And he was right, because all you need there is to be in that box, be at the end of every ball. Because, and of course it comes with confidence, because I can imagine if you miss so many chances that are coming, you have players like Ribeiro. Ribeiro is looking to assist players. It's a pass that he gave Mudau over the weekend. Difficult ball, and I don't know. I wasn't gonna see them in my career. I don't know how he sees the game. So
once I thought he was Roger Fidumba then.
Was Roger that good? Was Roger that good?
Yeah, 10 times better than proper. Yeah.
I feel you saw him very well. So with Reynolds, he's a scorer. That's all I can say.
For me, just to I look at Reynolds past Sundowns, Bafana. We're in a busy program now with the national team. World Cup qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers. AFCON is coming. If we get to the World Cup, he's fit. This is a guy who can score goals for us. And I hope he continues at the rate he's going. I had my doubts, but he has well and truly proved me
When
wrong.
did you have your doubts, influencer?
When
you went to Sundowns?
Yeah, I didn't think he's a Sundowns player in a way, but he has proved me wrong. I think he's got a goal in him. The way he started the season shows that he's got quality. You don't go to Sundowns in the star-studded team and stamp your authority this early. A lot of players take too long to get used to the systems there and that kind of thing. And good on him. I think he can help us with the national team also.
Yeah, no, he definitely can. And then there's also another team, Cape Town City, a team that I actually thought was going to be in the semi-final, gentlemen. I was absolutely shocked to see them knocked out. Talk to us then, we'll start with you, Mandla, as to, I mean, where is City getting it wrong? Because you look at the players, I mean, when you talk about quality, Cape Town City has that quality, but they're just not getting those results. And it's not only just in the cup, but also in the league, on and off.
Yeah, but the beauty about the Carling Knockout Cup is that it's full of surprises.
Yeah.
You can never be guaranteed any spot. Even Sundowns is not guaranteed a spot in the final. Even though they're riding in their high horses, you need to prove yourself on the day of the game.
For sure.
And I think Cape Town City, they had opportunities to bury that game, you know, but I don't know where they got it wrong, you know, because they were dominant in that game. They created more chances than Richards Bay, but eventually, you know, they lost. There was a one-on-one situation where I can't remember the name of the striker.
Oh yeah,
and then he missed.
Yeah.
In cup competitions, you don't miss those because they only come once.
Yeah.
So, and also during penalties, they had to score that last winning penalty, and that guy ballooned the ball. Unfortunately, you can't have two chances where you need to bury the game in one match and you don't take it.
Yeah.
Then Prakot decides, no, let the
You're not serious enough.
But the other thing with their team
is
the unfortunate part that they signed so many players.
They did,
And they even brought youngsters into the team, which will somehow disturb the rhythm of the team. But I do understand the expectation from the outside to say, no, Makarenge and Mukocho, they are season campaigners, they should find a way to play with each other. The structure is different there. The new youngsters, if you look at the majority of the team is new from midfield going forward.
Yeah.
And that tells you that they somehow building a team. And it's just that with them, it's like Kaizer Chiefs. They are the team that they showed us in the past what they can do. I cannot thank them enough. They gave me a league from where they beat Pirates in Cape Town. And it's moments like that where we will remember them, how solid they were.
They also killed the last season. They was the last team to beat you.
Yeah.
So you know what that was the problem.
So this is a team that is God. That is God.
Yeah, I think also for the other thing in South Africa, we're obsessed with firing coaches. I mean, I remember Coach Dennis Malesela was under a lot of pressure a few games on Marumo, must be fired and all that stuff. With Cape Town John Committers, I know he will back the coach for now. You can see that it's not quite coming together for now. I mean, I watched them against Sundowns at Loftus last weekend. You know, they are. You can see they're doing what they're doing. Experienced coach, as you said, they've made some good additions to the squad. It will come together. They need time. Of course, they don't need a prolonged period of time. It needs to start happening. But I think for now, really, it's important that they must back the coach, and let's see what they can do. I mean, they've got one of the better coaches we have in the league. Coach Eric is one of the coaches we have in the league.
But the point there, Mandla, is very important. Where in a competition, sometimes don't look at how you win it. Especially the
cross the line.
The boy from Maritzburg, the striker, the one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Had he took that one,
we must bury those chances.
Had he took that one, we will be speaking different topic now. And I think when a team just won the match, it brings a lot of positivity in the team. Then you build from winning football match. And I think it will take a lot of time because they win and then they lose and then they draw and then in some way if they win one match and then they draw. So they build from something.
Yeah.
So if you lose a match, man, it's something. It's not
it takes a lot. And also 3 points is a lot.
It definitely is. Brakeke, you know everything about playing, top tier football in terms of, your CAF Champions League. Now, when you look into your Stellenbosch, I know Orlando Pirates fans have been saying that, no, maybe it's a blessing so that they can focus into CAF Champions League. Now, Stellenbosch, they're also, of course, in the CAF Confederation Cup. So do you think that having played in CAF and understanding the jam-packed schedule, defeats for teams like Stellenbosch, Orlando Pirates, and being knocked out, understandable, looking at the squad and the depth that they have?
I think Mandla will agree with me with this one when I say players want to play every competition and every match. And once you are out of the competition, then it means when the cup finally comes, you guys are not playing. You'll be watching. And that week, it means you will want to rest. You train there, you rest there. And that kills a momentum. Just to see, I want to give you an example. See when there's 2 weeks FIFA break, see the next matches. You see the matches that are not so quality. Some teams, they don't want to come out, but they want to come out. But it's not the intensity that we were looking for. So even in matches, when you're as a player, I used to play with a lot of intensity in my game. So one match, if I play here and then I get suspended the next match I'll struggle with certain things that I would do normally in a match. It's because I didn't play the match. So you need to have a level of consistency in your performance as well as the matches. If they come, like when you see the Sundowns team, I'll give you the Sundowns team. When they play Tuesday and then they play weekend, they're unstoppable like that. But once they play and then they get a rest, they will come struggling.
Yeah.
That's why when I look at the Pirates team, going to the Magesi team, they had to change, and those players, they never played their last match and the match before. So it will take a lot of, I don't know, out of the players to play miracle to say we're winning this match. Because you're not referring from anywhere. You need a reference, as Mandla said. You need to have a match that prepares you to the next match.
And how much does personal experience comes in when you are in a situation like that? Because some of these things are not the stuff that can be coached. What do you do, resting and working and making sure that you are in good condition without playing, just training?
It's so personal. When me and Mandla, we can train the same. He's a winger, he dribbles people, and to run with the ball, he will tell you, it's not an easy thing. It's difficult, it takes a lot of those players. So how he trains, it's not how I will train. I use endurance, I use run round. So players need to train based on whatever position they play. And again, today football it goes back to technology. Everybody is wearing, I don't know what they call it, but and then there will be a physical trainer who judges how players should train. Before, when we started, we didn't have all those. We relied on, I want to hit the road, if my take is, I want to be fit. So football has changed. Football is changing every day. But I just know that players, if you want to be among the best players in the league, you have to train differently. You have to be the fittest player, and you mustn't feel sorry, to be the hardest worker in the team. If you take pride on that, the team, the football has a way of rewarding somebody like that.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think also, like you just alluded that as a winger you train different. That's when you need to go play this small six-a-side a lot so that you get the sharpness, because for him he just needs endurance and get the ball, release the ball. But for players like nippy players, skillful players, this six-a-side, five-a-side, they help a lot because
you're always on the ball.
Yeah, you're building stamina. The ball doesn't go out. You don't have time to rest. You play your 20 minutes, you get your rest to change sides, and also you become sharp like that.
And I mean, when we opened up the talk, of course, about the Carling, it's a romantic one, because when you look into last season, when, of course, then it was extended to the 16 teams, you looked at a side like Stellenbosch, who we do know that Coach Vark has been knocking at these finals, and he finally, of course, got that fairy tale ending, finally winning it. And you look into currently just the semis, you've got a coach, Dan Malisela, who we also love when you talk about South African football identity. He brings that flavor. You spoke about Coach Clinton Larson as well at Magesi. I think Magesi definitely the biggest talking point, the surprise factor in this cup. So talk to us, I mean, when you look into Magesi, and really what is it that they're getting right? I mean, you touched a bit on where Pirates got it wrong when they were facing Magesi, but Magesi, they're continuing the form in the league as well.
Coach Clinton played for Money Rangers. I don't know if you have seen Money Rangers, Clauiee.
I've seen highlights.
He played for Money Rangers that won the league. Yeah. And they weren't playing the previous football. Yeah. He will tell you from Mahlatse. And he was a winger. There was a striker called George Mandaragis. They wanted to hit that guy. How? From anywhere they will hit him. If you look at the Magesi team, they played more or less the same. Very direct in their approach. They've got midfielders that they make sure that they just screen there and defend and make sure that they make it difficult for you to reach, which is cheaper. What I do know is on breaks, they've got Chiramadare, who's never stop running. And they don't waste time when they go to the sides. They put the balls into the box, and that's how they score goals. Yeah. Against Paris, they scored 2 goals from the left, where Chiramadare is operating. Cross, past 2 defenders, last ball, goal. Second goal, the same, until they got even the penalty. Yeah. Against Chiefs, they scored the same goal, where Chiramadare got the ball 5 minutes in. Was it 5 minutes in? That's too early. Cross, goal. So you can tell that they are very economical how they play. Very strategic, and because they don't have fancy players, they will stick to that plan. Yeah. And that coach, he's very, because he's got, we spoke about reference. He's got him as a reference, winning the league with not so fancy players. I think the very good football player at the time, when I was young, you will correct me, was Vincent Sokela, if you remember Vincent Sokela. At the time, I'm old enough. He was a central midfielder, short guy like this. And I used to watch him from TV, but I knew because that team was full of the colored boys, and he was that Sokela guy. And I was like, okay, I'll pay attention to him. Yeah. But he was every ball goes through him because he was that good. But we're speaking about Magesi now, and I'm speaking how he used that Man Rangers team the way Magesi's play. You should watch it close.
And by the way, he played for Pirates also.
He did.
He was at Pirates at some stage. He was not a bad player. And also now they understand their limitations in terms of the pocket. Yeah. You can see the recruitment is very good. They go for players that he likes, he believes in, can do the job for him. It's pretty much a team that relies on free agents, and they go find somebody there who has not been playing, they bring him back. I mean, look at a player like Dylan Mekwa. He would never make it anyway, but he's there. He's working very hard for them. So though it's that type of a team where it's less about the fleshy stuff, but their unit, and when they get in there, they'll die for each other. And that team is very, very dangerous.
Do they build from the back?
No, they hardly. But they keep on winning. They sing
the results.
I like that. Yeah, because
what you stress.
I like that.
No, that one needs a different. You want Ronald Williams now?
No. You don't have, and I think it's so many teams, and I've watched football for long now, and I know there's players that they know how to play from the back, and there's those players that I know I can rely on that can play from the back, but they are solid in their approach. And as a coach, you must find that means of formula of say, I've got this. I must work with this. Yeah. I mustn't do something that is not out of my scope. So don't ask me. As somebody say, do stop over. Guys, I'll break my neck.
So, but playing from the back, you can see how difficult it is. I remember last season when Coach Steve was at Swallows. He tried it. There were a lot of mistakes there. Because, now with due respect, but they were just not, he just didn't have the right players for that kind of system.
Yeah.
You need the right players to do it.
No, you definitely do. I think Polokwane City knows also one of the teams that they use their strength as well, because Coach Puti understands that no. If I'm playing Sundowns, I can't play them in their own game. But I mean, Mandla, looking to the semi-final, Magesi, Richards Bay, your expectations in that encounter?
I would love to see your home team
In the final.
in the final, you know,
That'd be
because
nice for them.
it will be a fairy story,
Yeah.
like fairy tale story, because they were no hair last season. They were in the NFD. Now they're competing to be in the final of the Carling Black label knockout, which is amazing. You know, that's a very amazing story because that shows you that
there's coaching and there's preparation.
you understand. Yeah.
And also the bigger picture, don't forget, they need the money. That money can go a long way.
Exactly. You know, I
you
don't
can
know
buy
how
one
much,
or two players with that money.
I don't know how much they've collected because they've scored early. You know,
Oh, yeah.
one of their fans has predicted which team will score first in that Fagugezi.
And their goalkeeper's been winning the man of the match.
matches, you know. So that's a moral boost. That's what the Carling is all about.
Hey, but the guy who's collecting the money is Rainas, eh?
Yeah.
And
He collected
same thing last
everything last
season.
season.
Remember
Even
last
now he's collecting more.
That's the
Yeah,
No,
beauty.
there's something
I was
about
always
this cup that he
supposed to
likes.
rest now with this game.
No, that's the beauty
But
of
that's the beauty of the
of the
tournament.
Carling.
And what I like about this tournament,
Nina Bentola about 10K now.
10K.
10K.
10K is too much.
There was a man of the match at $2,000.
Now, imagine getting yourself 100,000.
Then that's like a winner
for
date.
Oh, yes. Mini decoders.
Yeah, I mean, just TV decoders and all those things.
Yeah, boy. That's nice. But I think the players, they love to play for in this tournament simply because of those incentives. And the fans, I've never seen the fans so excited.
They're so happy.
Yeah.
because of
Also
you know
part of-
being heard. They want to be heard, and because they've got a say that helps them, you know, to even come to the stadium. You know, the platform for me, I think that's what the supporters need. It's funny how they know their football.
Yes.
And for them to predict a goal.
Wait, on that note, remember what Alex Kekana once said about who knows the game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He
He was spot on. Eh?
Yes, he
That's
definitely
spot on.
was a man ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was spot on.
I mean,
Do you miss him?
do I miss him?
Yeah.
Ask the man next to
Do
you.
you miss him?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Shucks.
No,
I didn't hear the answer.
he said yes.
Oh, he said-
Yeah.
But I mean, it is great. We see great initiatives of also coming, of course, from some of the players saying that they'll share some of their man of the match accolades with the players, which I think is absolutely impeccable. Now, when we look into the second semi-final, it's Coach Dan Malisela, who is against, of course, Coach Mandla there, Mangoba rather, beg your pardon, Coach Mangoba Mngiti. Talk to us about then the expectations between the two teams. I mean, we know what Coach Dans can do. Also, we see what Sundowns can do now.
It's going to be a very entertaining game, you know.
That is for sure.
I urge all the supporters to go and fill up that Toyota Stadium. It will be
Stadium.
electrifying
Yeah,
because
the final is also going there.
it's a battle of two geniuses, you know,
Yes.
who plays beautiful football.
Yeah.
Both teams, they keep the ball. They love to be in control of the ball, you know. And now it's gonna be a challenge for both teams because they want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just that Sundowns have the experience, you know, and they know the right moments when, like, to pick those pockets of spaces and to bury games. If you have, there's Shalulile, he's always lurking around the box.
Yeah.
There's Ribeiro, I think, is the mastermind when it comes to Reyners and Shalulile, because he's the one who makes things happen for Mamelodi Sundowns. If we really watch how Sundowns plays. And there on the other side of Braden, you have players like Boshai, they want to prove a point because he's a very good player. It's unfortunate that only we get to see him like now, but he's a Sundowns development player. You know, I saw him when we played against Chippa some years back. You could tell that this guy is special. It's just that we had a conversation where the special ones, they always have that one screw, I don't know where Prakon takes it.
What do we call them, mad scientists?
And Mandla, by the way, with him, he's the son of a Sundowns legend, Isaac Paradise Shai. You know, so there is also that romantic story between. Can you imagine if he rocks up and in terms of the cup? I don't know his father is going to beat him up when he gets home.
It's gonna be nice because the boy, we know the boy very well. He played for us.
For Sundowns,
he grew up there. As you say, what a talent! What a talent! And it'll be very interesting to see the match. I just know my boys must be ready to mark. It reminds me of when Coach Denz was still Coach Chippa. We were playing Chippa and Coach Pete was like, boys, battle up. Anyway, he knew what he was trying to tell us, that we're going to run the whole day. But when you find the opportunity to score, make sure you don't waste those opportunities because they know how to be on the ball. And Coach Dance re-emphasized on that midfield. You saw how Manaka has revived his area there. Mlambo. I saw yesterday they played with Nange in the midfield. What a player. I think he deserved that man of the match there because he stabilized that. They gave them balance from the first whistle. And I thought this guy, he was a Chiefs player. I thought he wasn't lucky to be in that team at the right time. There's players like that where they arrive in the team not in the right time. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see Mamelodi Sundowns coming out of.
One of the key things there is that if the fence comes up and backs this Marumo, both of you should know, having played there, you know that those people, when they start screaming, it becomes very, very difficult. That's another element which can come into play in this match. If there is more Celtic Marumo fans than
the
Sundowns.
Green Army.
The Green Army. It can be. And of course, just from a football perspective,
it will be nice.
It will be a nice football match. I like Coach Dan,
You've got a very soft spot,
Yeah, it's a football man.
My team survived Calabash, so
that is
this one in
you guys like to put on a show.
That is a cup of tea.
I was scared. I don't know. I told Mandla over the weekend, I was like, hey, this is the first time I come here and I'm not so comfortable because I know that Chiefs, when they come, they look like they can score anytime because of the crowd and they are happy. But when I saw my boys, calm in that and they step on the ball, and I was like, okay, they are in control. And to go to Petros Molemela, of course, it's not easy to play in that stadium. They push us back. They sing from the first whistle to the last. But my boys, they need to take the same mentality that they went with to Kaizer Chiefs and bring it there because they looked very, very good when they were so under control. And I wish I can shake their hands to say, please continue with that because
you must do that.
When
you're recording pitch side, do that.
I'm sure he has done it already.
I'm sure for example, all access, we can go there and check their hands. Or even to the dressing room,
This weekend it is
But also, going back to that, the match on Saturday, there's one thing I wanted to raise here about Chiefs. I'm a bit worried about that defender. The Chiefs defender. The guy is getting a lot of yellow cards. I think he got 3 in a row. He was suspended. He came back. He gets 2. When you have a guy like that, he can miss big matches because of suspensions. They need to talk to him to. I understand, he's a fighter.
Can you agree that he's solid?
No, it's a proper footballer. That's the national team player.
I like him.
Just that the discipline thing will count against him a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Yanali Gaston, I think they need to come down. Happily, cultural background. Champions League, that is allowed, unfortunately, but not in our league. And I remember when I was fortunate to play under somebody who's very, very knowledgeable with the continental football. He used to say to Langerman, he said, Langa, you see that one in the Champions League is not foul. And the incident happened the weekend where Langa, you know, when the overseas, not in Africa, they pull you like this.
Yeah.
And he stopped. He think it's a foul. They didn't give a foul, and he said, "You see, that is not a foul, but in South Africa, that is a foul." So you need to differentiate. And I think Miguel is still operating with the
Champions League.
He doesn't know that when he comes here, some fouls are just soft. We are looking as fans will be like, that's soft, but for him, it's not like that. So,
yeah. But when you like talking about that, you know, the standard of officiating needs to to improve.
That one.
Because no, like we need to be realistic because you know some decisions they are the turning points of a match. You know, so I think that needs to be.
I get so mixed emotion about that. I don't know how they deal with it because surely as players we get criticized when we don't improve.
But referees must improve.
And we've been given the opportunity to review our matches. Do they review their matches? Because if they don't, then they will never improve. Because when you watch the mistake that you committed over the weekend, and you compare that to the players who's playing in your position, which is the referee in this instance, when you watch other referees what they are doing, you should surely improve. I can't see the same mistake from Clauiee last week and 2 weeks ago. He's still committing the same mistake even next week. He says that means there's no improvement, and I think that Mandla is right. One mistake, one referee can change the match. Look at the goal that Pirates got in the final, MTN. That mistake changed the whole complexion of the match, and you could tell after that the Stellenbosch boys they were mad. They wanted to take red cards, and then they lost their minds. And it's because of that decision. Had he, of course, we can speak about that, but I just know that referees needs to improve in South Africa.
Do you think that then just VAR then is the follow-up? Then it needs to be included now.
Lo, how many VAR referees do we have in South Africa?
Trained.
Only 2.
Still a long way to go.
The Makalima referee, which is Akona, and probably Zakelo or Tom, the 2 of them.
And they only see that when they went to international tournaments or CAF.
Oh, thank you.
Later stages.
So here at home,
we've got a long way to go.
Buckle up.
I wanted to talk about mistakes. Coach Steve says the first mistake we forgive. The second one, we get worried. The third one, not good enough. So you can't keep on making mistakes. You have got to improve.
No, you have to. But I mean, gentlemen, before we wrap it up, when you look into South African football as a whole and where we are, I mean, there's that excitement. KK, you talk about now how anxious you are, you know, sometimes when you're like just over the weekend playing Kaizer Chiefs, because there's that uncertainty and a lot of teams coming with that that belief. You look at Orlando Pirates, yes, Stellenbosch was knocked out, but also a very good side. So South African football as a whole right now, where we are, and really the teams that are gunning for it.
I think we must anticipate a season where, for the first time, Banoi fly a Moitzer shot.
We missed that. Yes, I love that.
because I look at the teams and the players, they're excited to play the game again. And it's not only the players, the supporters. They go into the matches. We haven't seen that in like 3-4 years. So yeah, you're right. The excitement is there, and it's and how I feel, how it feels to be a fan. I'm watching football matches as a fan, and sure, I get home tired. Simply because I see moments, and I was like, oh no, don't pass that one, don't pass, and I'm there, I'm playing, and I'm not playing, and I'm a fan. So it's a stressful one, and the excitement of being in that stadium, I can imagine what does it feel to be No, a real proper fan.
Yeah, you almost bumped into me.
Askies, man. Yeah, and I was wearing kick and purpose.
When Sundowns scored the second goal.
The way I ran, the way I was running. Oh, man.
He's a proper fan.
Yeah, I ran. I play for real. Like, yo,
But I mean,
home tired.
Gents, when we then have to look into, when you look into as a whole South African football, there's also that issue of discipline, where that's also the conversation right now. I mean, we know footballers, you talk about a mad scientist, right? That as much as there's the talent, but there's also things that footballers go through that they might not talk about, that we might not know as fans. Talk to us about that element as a footballer, you know, perhaps the difficulty in also achieving the discipline and also the consistency that is required from you and your football game and also life in general.
First of all, we are human beings before being soccer players. Or any other career. You know, football is just a career like any other career, whether you're an engineer, you're a scientist, you know. We all have different dynamics into each and every sphere, let me put it like that. So now we encounter different challenges.
And the personality are different.
Yes. You know, and I feel as a footballer, like you have too many expectations because you're in the public eye. You understand, where if you are an engineer, it's you and the colleagues.
No one is going to know.
No one is going to know. So automatically you become in the spotlight. And that on its own, it's a challenge, you know. Some players are able to go through that challenge. Some unfortunately can't. And as much as we come from different backgrounds, that also plays a role, because your upbringing and my upbringing is different. Maybe you had everything on a silver platter and maybe I didn't. And then now all of a sudden from zero I'm getting certain amount. So that automatically will challenge me mentally. You have that financial challenge, you have that being in the spotlight challenge. So now you need to please a lot of people in
including
and around
your
me,
families.
including like you have pressure from family members. Let's take an example of Paul Pogba situation currently. You know, I read somewhere where he said everyone was calling him, you know, he was helping there and there, he was a big star. But now when he had allegedly had that the ban, so now his phone was quiet. You go like through a lot, you know, as much as there's psychologists, psychiatrists, but sometimes it's just
too much,
natural demons.
You
know, it needs a really strong character. You know, you need to really be strong. Sometimes when you are strong, you are classified as arrogant.
Actually.
But
we can't differentiate that.
You understand. So you need people. There's certain people who will understand you, and there's certain other people who won't. But anyway, I'll see Mali. Not
everyone will like you. That is true. Okay, just to add to that.
I want to shake his hand for
Yes,
using
putting it nicely.
Yes.
And he even used the word allegedly.
You know.
Don't want problems.
Because I think also we are saying this in the background of what happened to the Skukune player, Mokhaila. It's a very tough thing that is going through. It also points out to the challenges that the guys are going through. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs of what happened. It's a terrible thing that has happened to him. You know, obviously now the matter is in the courts and all those kinds of things, but it talks to what Mandla is saying, that you don't know what guys are going through. From a distance, we can judge and come here and talk, but there's a lot, and it's not only happening to footballers. We live in communities where we see people struggling. Even ourselves, we struggle sometimes. It's normal, you know. It's just an issue of how do we handle it. Lena, your problem is
Remo Mafarahlase.
Hey. Now, hey, if you see Hlompho in a taxi, why am I?
Yeah, this guy. Why, man?
If it is all with the best money.
And they forget that what's
You know,
Mandla saying? We are
you know,
human
we
beings
are human
before we become something.
You know, so yeah, it's challenges, yeah, it's tough. It's just a
Good.
tough life. When we see Clauiee, we talk.
But that's where we'll wrap it up. I think definitely an insightful conversation. Just looking
You
into,
forgot
of course,
to ask him about their predictions for the
about their
semi-final.
predictions for the semifinals. I already got it.
Me,
I already got it. They said it
Oh,
from
you
the
Sundowns.
beginning.
Oh.
Yes.
Sundowns is going to Toyota Stadium twice.
Oh,
I got it clear.
Okay.
Why are you confused, sir?
so I'm seeing you in the Toyota Stadium.
No, I can't go.
Why?
They must
'Cause
just
you're
bring the
going-
trophy.
Oh, okay.
I'm just I'm a fan.
Too
You're scared.
Going to
emotional.
push
I'm too
people.
emotional, and it's so how I watch football.
So you were like Alice Ferguson, you really take his eye out.
I run when I actually watch. I love watching football right on my couch, watching, and I'm alone. I can scream and do on the stadium, man. I don't know how to sit down. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're like Mambo, she doesn't. Closer to the end of the match, he goes outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
he's scared.
You're apologizing for your behavior now.
Yeah, behavior over the weekend. I wasn't sober. I was driven by emotions.
By emotions and
Yeah.
passion. That's how we wrap up the Arena Sports Show. Let us know as well, of course, then your predictions. The gentleman saying that it will be Magesi and Mamelodi Sundowns in the final. Who do you think will be going all the way to the final? We'd love to hear from you. But from us, it's cheers. Goodbye.